a volley and bump it. No need to think of hippity-dippity moves. Some players think they have to, oh, I'm trying for touch. You don't need all that stuff. Set it for a volley, the ball bounces, and lightly over the net. You add the drop shot to your game, and you'll be one notch higher as a tennis player. Beautiful. You've just seen two very good tournament players playing a few points using exactly the tactics that tournament players would use. The server got his first serve in on the first point. He took command of the point. He came to the net, played a forceful volley, and then put the ball away with a winning overhead smash. On the second point, the server missed his first serve, and the receiver right away sensed a weaker second serve. He attacked, and he came to the net, and he put the ball away. And these are the tactics of tournament tennis. Now, many people have a misconception about tactics. A lot of people think tactics mean hit the ball hard. Now, that is totally a misconception. Hitting the ball hard and not being able to rally means you are never going to be able to play good tennis. People who just hit the ball as hard as they can and who don't know where the ball goes, they may have a lot of fun in exercising their muscles, but they're not really playing tennis. Until such time as you can actually control the ball, you are not employing the first basic tactic in tennis. The first tactic in tennis is this: keep the ball in play. You have to be able to rally. Just keep the ball going. Now, once you can keep the ball going, you can start adding another dimension to your game. Learn to direct the ball a little bit from side to side. To the player's forehand, and then play the ball to the opponent's backhand, and then play the player's forehand. And this would be the second dimension of a tennis player. Once you can do that, you control the depth of the ball. Hit the ball short, hit the ball deep at will, a short ball. And now play a deep shot to your opponent. And now maybe give him another short ball or a wide one, and you can win the point. You are now growing tactically as a tennis player. You now have the tools to become more experienced. Now, once you can do that, you should start using some spin and speed. All right? And this will give you the chance, by using spin and speed, maybe use some top spin. And now, maybe use a slice. And that slice will give you the chance to come to net and maybe make a winning volley. You are now growing tactically as a tennis player. The correct sequence of tactics in tennis should always be: number one, control the ball. Get a rally going. Once you can rally, direct the ball from side to side. And then you control the depth. Hit a short ball, hit a deep ball. Then you add speed and spin. And then when you get a short ball from your opponent, now you can take that short ball and you can come to net behind it. Ideally, it would be preferable when you get the short ball to hit it down the line. If you hit the ball down the line, it means you are well positioned. If I play this ball down the line and my opponent returns the ball, these are the possible angles my opponent has. Now look, my opponent has just returned the ball. Now look what happens. I have to cover the line over here, and I have to cover the passing shot over here. Now it may appear as if I'm giving preference to the down the line shot. But you can see, if you were to draw a line from the corner of the singles court over there and the baseline to the far corner over there, and you would have another line drawn down this side over here, you can see I'm bisecting the angle of the possible returns. So if my opponent, if John, hits the ball cross court, all I have to do is take one step across and I can reach the ball. If he hits the ball down the line, the same thing is true, one step over here and I can reach the ball. So the key in good approach shots is this, that what you want to do is bisect the angle. So remember, you don't go to the middle of the court. If you go over here, look, my opponent has a very, very easy passing shot. I ought to be lined up behind the ball. If I line myself up behind the ball, now I have the best chance to cut off the volley. Now, where to put the ball? All right, I'm going to tell you a fact and an absolute. Whenever you have a chance to make a winning shot, always hit the ball cross court, away from your opponent. If my opponent is down the line there, and I get a ball on my forehand side, there's only one shot I'm going to play. I'm going to play the ball cross court for a winning shot. My opponent has no chance. So remember this very carefully. You always hit the ball to the open court when you can make a winning shot. What happens if my opponent runs for the ball? If my opponent starts to run for the ball, I don't care. He can run. Well, it doesn't matter to me. Why should I, because he starts to run for the ball, why should I worry about him? If I can make a winning shot, I make a winning shot. I don't have to, because he starts to run, I don't have to change my mind. I don't have to go for, oh, for heaven's sake, to try and hit behind him. I have no reason to do that. I'm going to win the point in any case. As an intermediate player, even though you cannot make a winning volley, still go cross court. And the reason is this: intermediates don't run too well to the ball. So now, although I can't make a winning shot, I still go cross court. And my opponent is going to make a mistake 9 times out of 10. And now this is the difference between the tactics of intermediate and advanced players. Intermediates, you always go cross court. Winning volleys, always go cross court, and even those you cannot win, because you will win 9 out of 10 shots, because intermediates don't play well when they're on the run. Now, what is the difference when you start dealing with advanced players? In this case, I would not play the ball cross court if I am not sure I can win the point. Why? Because, have a look. Advanced players have very good feet and very good control over the ball. If you play the ball cross court against an advanced player, they run the ball down, and now they've got a tremendous angle on you, and they win the point outright. Now comes the second element. Now, I told you, you always hit a winning ball cross court. And intermediate players, you hit every ball cross court, because, remember, beginners or intermediates don't run very well for the ball. When you start playing advanced tennis, the tactics become more than just one of angles. Now you have to think about a little bit of judgment. If I'm not sure whether I can win the point or not, what should I do? What I ought to do now is not hit the ball where my opponent has an angle on me. What I should do is keep the ball right in front of me. So what I'm going to do now is, my opponent gives me a tough shot. I don't think I can win the point. I hit the ball right back to my opponent. I still have position on the court, you see, and I'll repeat the same situation time and again until such time as I get one that sits up a bit and I can make my winning shot. And this is the difference between advanced tennis and intermediate tennis. Judgment. Now, here you have typically example of how a player would set himself up at net to get the best advantage. Now, what about the player on the other side. If you are dealing with intermediate tennis, what should my opponent be doing now? The player on the baseline should, the moment I'm about to play my volley, he should start running for the ball. Why? Well, the first thing he does is he puts pressure on me. He runs for the ball because I see him running and I say, "Ooh," and I try to hit the ball with a lot more pace than is necessary, and I'm likely to make mistakes. And if he gets there, well, maybe the odds are such that he may make a couple of points in any case. For advanced players, that would be a bad tactic. Now we should start talking about percentages in tennis. Now let's look at what percentage tennis looks like. If I'm playing against John, and John starts to run for the ball, let's look at what his percentages are. John starts the ball to me. Now watch the first thing. He runs like the devil. He didn't get to the ball. So tactically, let's just analyze the percentages. 1-love to Dennis, okay? Now, the next one, let's see, maybe he can get there. Let's see what happens this time. I play cross court, he ran for the ball. 1-all.